One of the nearly 70 million Americans getting Social Security, or one of the millions more paying into the program for later, this is for you. There's a reason that Social Security is one of the most successful and popular programs in the history of America. It's a promise that we make to every single American. You pay in, paycheck after paycheck, over a lifetime of hard work. And when you get older, you get that money back to help you retire with dignity. That's the ironclad, take it to the bank promise that America makes to workers. And it works. For over 80 years, Social Security has supported people each month without fail. In 2024 alone, Social Security lifted nearly 29 million people out of poverty. And if you're under the age of 60, you might be thinking to yourself, why should I care about Social Security? Well, think of Social Security as insurance. You might not know this, but Social Security gives every single American protection, not only for themselves for retirement, but also for their kids and for their families. Take a 40-year-old worker who gets into a serious car accident. Say they end up with a disability and they can't go back to work, or even worse, say they die and their kids are left behind. Social Security is there for them. Those kids are already dealing with enough, and the last thing they need to worry about is covering rent. Social Security helps lift that burden. But Donald Trump doesn't care how many people Social Security has helped. He has taken a wrecking ball to the Social Security Administration. He slashed services and cut staff, forcing people to wait hours just to get a hold of someone on the phone. And forget getting an appointment in person. Some Americans are reporting waiting months. That's not efficient. It's a backdoor cut to benefits. When people are having issues with their benefits, they aren't able to get help quickly and easily. What does that really mean? They go a month, maybe even more, without getting their Social Security check. For millions of American seniors and families, that could be the difference between being able to afford groceries or rent or not. The Trump administration's cuts are hurting Social Security workers as well. These frontline staffers are union workers who are focused on helping Americans. But the staffing cuts are forcing them to take on unsustainable amounts of work, even tasks that they haven't been trained to do. And make no mistake, the Trump administration would cut even more if they could. Trump's head of Social Security, Frank Bisignano, floated raising the retirement age. And that's just another way to cut off Americans' benefits and to get you working. The administration was this close to announcing a rule that would make it harder for disabled Americans to get their Social Security disability benefits. And we pushed back. And we finally got them to back off. Look, the way I see it, Donald Trump and Frank Bisignano are trying to come in and break everything, so they can then turn around and point to the chaos that they created as justification to privatize Social Security and sell it for parts to their billionaire buddies. Americans don't want that, and we're not going to let them get away with it. I see Social Security as a broader insurance system for workers all across the country, for seniors, for people with disabilities, for you to retire with dignity. And that's why we all have a stake in protecting the program for years to come. But protecting Social Security doesn't just mean fighting back against political attacks to gut it. It also means fighting to strengthen and to expand benefits, to make sure that the program is here for our kids and our grandkids and many more generations. Here's the truth. Social Security just hasn't kept up with rising costs, especially not for things like medical costs and home aids, things that seniors disproportionately spend their money on. And that's why, while Social Security benefits are updated every year to account for inflation, the adjustment just doesn't match the increased cost of living for most people who are on Social Security. Think of it this way. The adjustment happens after inflation has already done its damage. Over the last 15 years, Social Security benefits have lost 20% of their buying power. The Trump administration has announced that the cost of living increase for 2026 is about 2.8%. That's an average of just about $56 extra each month. Think about $56. That's not even enough to cover a week's worth of groceries for most people. That's hitting American seniors and people with disabilities especially hard. And here's why. Half of all American seniors rely on Social Security for half of their income, and it's the only source of income for 1 out of 4 people. Here's what I think. We need to expand Social Security, make sure that every American who relies on Social Security can afford their basic needs. And I have a bill to do just that. My bill would bump up benefits by $200 a month right now to give seniors, veterans, and people with disabilities some relief as they're getting flattened by Donald Trump's economy. And how do we pay for it? Answer is actually simple. We make millionaires and billionaires pay their fair share. And before anyone gets just too fired up about that, think about this. Right now, a CEO making $20 million a year pays about the same amount of money into Social Security as someone who makes $176,000 a year. That's just not fair. So by changing the law, we can even out the playing field for working families and bring in more money to make sure Social Security is around for our kids and our grandkids and all the generations to come. It is a win-win. I'm not giving up on the fight to protect Social Security, and I need you in this fight with me. If you're one of the
Yeah, good morning. Last time I applied for food stamps, June 2023. Their phone number's not working. Do you have a good phone number for them?
I don't.
You're a lot of help.
Well, you called the wrong number, not me.
Well, you also do public assistance, don't you?
No, definitely not.
Then how come your number came up?
I don't know.
Oh, type it in Google Maps. Type in Google Maps. You're right there. Bye-bye.